Therefore, it can be applied to all kinds of construction projects. The crushing and grading process consumes about 4 million tons of wear resistant materials every year. The power consumption of crushing and grading takes up nearly 70% of the whole production process. Therefore, the important improvement of crushing and grading production technology is the main direction for enterprises to achieve energy savings, consumption reduction, and benefit improvement. The project technological background. In this text, current crushing and grading process, formula is called low efficient machine. In fact, it is a misunderstanding. People do not really understand the formula. It is a accessible machine in the grading process. The formula has been around for more than 100 years. Over the past 100 years, great changes have taken place in the grading process. The fitting particle size of the formula has changed from about 200 millimeters in simple production to about 1 millimeter in modern mass production. About the new concept crushing process. The crushing and grading product is a main link in cement production and mining beneficiation, and its power consumption accounts for nearly 70% of the entire production process. Therefore, the improvement of the crushing and grading product process is the main goal of the enterprise to achieve an energy saving, consumption reduction, and efficiency improvement. The significance of the new concept process established the working state of the ball mill under the new material condition, and efficiently combined with the roller press, vertical mill, and other medium and fine crushers, improve the output, reduce energy consumption, improve the particle flow, optimize the particle structure, and obtain the optimal performance of cement, or significantly improve the beneficiation yet. Yes. Next, I will introduce my colleague Carrie to introduce the ball mill ceramic liquid press.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Carrie from EB China. And today I will show you other information about it. Okay, let's go on. The first is something about the ball mill ceramic line plate, and also this is our patented products. And we put forward the ball mill system engineering series, and also the system engineering series in the ball mill grading process to make an making chance design and match the ceramic line plate and metal bond combination. And also, it includes about the two main parts. And the first part is about increase output and reduce consumption. The fabrication of some bit is only about 47% of steel, and also which can reduce the weight of line plate by more than 50%. And also it improves the efficiency of ball mill and reduces the ordinary consumption of ball mill. And the second part is about the ceramics have extremely high wear resistance, and also it is greatly reducing the running cost and the maintenance rate of the ball mill. And next, there are some photos about the ceramic line plate, and also you can get something about the color and the shape. And you can see more clearly about it. And the next part is science fiction of the new concept precise. And also it includes about the 7 parts. The first part is about it is establishing the working state of the ball mills. And also it is under the new material condition. And the second, it is actively combine it with the roller press. And the third part is it is increasing the output. And the first part, it is reducing energy consumption. And the next, it is also improving vertical shape. And the next, it is optimizing for particle structure. And the last part, it is also striving for the high stress of thermal. Okay, the next part is about ball mill modified according to new concept resize. And it reduces 90% of the bolt of the mill barrel, and also which not only reduces the manufacturing cost and the exteriors of the ball mill, and it can increase the strength of the barrel body, but also eliminates the phenomenon of leakage of powder and material. And also it is greatly improves the working environment of workers. And also there are some pictures attached on it, and you can see it. And also the next part is about the preliminary experiment of this project. And it includes about the 2 parts. The first part, our new concept 3D precise has been used commercially on thermal mills with diameters of 3.8 meters and 4.2 meters. And the second part, the ceramic line plate, it is used in industry application with metal drilling tool on thermal mill with a diameter of 3.8 meters. And the next part it includes the 2 parts. In the thermal mill with a diameter of 4.2 plus 13.5 meters, the output of 40 second point and 5 grade thermal stand. It is as high as 290 pounds, and the powder consumption is about 24 degrees per ton. and the output it is about 200 to 230 pounds, and the power consumption is about 30 to 33 degrees per ton when the traditional design is used in the same type of mill stand. And the second part, the ceramic ball mill line board has been used in Tianjin cement factory for more than 50 months. And also, it has been verified by the customer that the design is natural and stable. And also, the wear-resisting performance is extremely ideal, and which determines the development direction of the ball mill line board in the future, and it is an improved-making product. And the next part is about the experimental results. In an industry test of a 3.8 plus 30 meters diameter cement mill, it is a single beam mill composed of a combined 6 submerging both 3 lines, and also it has been successfully run for 7 years. And compared with the traditional mill, the output has been increased by 30%, and the power consumption per ton is about 25 degrees. And more importantly, the service life of wear-resistant materials, it has been increased by more than 50%. And the next we can get inclusion about it. The new concept of crushing and grading technology, it can increase the output of the ball mill by more than 20%. And also, it can save about 20% of electricity and extend the life of wear-resistant materials by more than 50%. And the next part, we can learn more under the new working conditions, the work tasks of the existing ball mills. It has undergone a fundamental change, and also it is necessary to fully study the ball mills and use comprehensive technology to improve the effective power of the ball mills. And the third part, the ball grading theory in ball mills. It is of no practical significance, and it is only the ball with uniform ball diameter, and it has the greatest grading ability. And the next, the single chamber mill. It is composed of a variety of liners with different surface shapes, and so it can greatly increase the output of the mill, and also can greatly reduce the power consumption. And the next, it is excellent wear-resistant materials. And they are the base of the new concept of crushing and grading technology. And also in the ball mill system engineering theory, the ceramic liners and the metal balls, they will be the best combination, and it can effectively reduce high-swollen thermal pollution. So, in the new concept of ball mill system engineering, whether it is cement or miners, whether it is dry or wet grading processes, we do not hesitate to recommend some igniters. So this is all information about it. And welcome next colleague to introduce our other products.
Hello everyone, this is Alex from China. Today I will introduce the mining crushers to you. The index of crusher includes the concept of crusher, the application field of crusher, and the classification of crusher, and some parameters of the crusher. Mining crushers are also called rock crushers, which refer to crushing machinery whose discharge has a particle size greater than 3 millimeters and accounts for more than 50% of the total discharge volume. According to the size of filling and discharging granularity, crushers are often divided into coarser crusher, medium crusher, and fine crusher. The application of crusher in metallurgy, mining, chemical, cement, and other industry sectors, a large amount of raw materials are reused, which need to be processed by crushers every year. For example, in a beneficiation plant, in order to separate the useful metals into the ore into monomers, it is necessary to use a crusher to crush the raw ore to the particle size required by the grinding process. It is necessary to use crushing machinery to crush the raw materials to the particle size required by the next operation. In departments such as cocoa plants, cement plants, glasses industry, powder, metallurgy, and so on, crushing machinery must be used to crush the raw materials to the particle size required by the next operation. In the chemical and electric power sectors, crushing and grinding machinery crushers and use raw materials, including the surface area of materials and creating variable conditions for shortening the time of chemical reactions of materials. With the rapid development of industry and the rapid reduction of resources, the reuse of waste materials in the production of various departments is very important. The reprocessing of these waste materials needs to be crushed by crushing machinery. And next are some features of the application of crushing. According to the way the crushing force acts, the crusher can be roughly divided into two categories: crusher, grinding machine. The remaining introduced the crusher generally handles large pieces of materials and the product size is further. According to the crushing method and the structural characteristics of the machine, roughly divided into 6 categories: jaw crusher, impactor crusher, vertical impactor crusher, foot crusher, hammer crusher, and roller crusher. First, is the jaw crusher. The crushing chamber is composed of two jaw plates, a movable jaw and a static jaw, which simulates the movement of the animal's jaw to complete the material crushing operation. The features of the jaw crusher include that jaw crusher is preferred equipment for primary crushing. It has the characteristics of larger crushing ratio, uniform product size, simple structure, reliable work, simple maintenance, and economical operating costs, and low noise and less dust. The crushing ratio is large and the product size is uniform. The structure is simple, the work is reliable, and the operating cost is low. The lubrication system is safe and reliable. The replacement of the parts is convenient, and the equipment maintenance is simple. The crushing cavity is deep, and there is no feed zone, which improves the feeding capacity and output. And equipment energy saving, single machine energy saving is 50% to 30%. System energy saving is more than doubled. The adjustment range of the discharge opening is large, which can meet the requirements of super users. Next is the cold crusher. Cold crusher, a crushing machine suitable for raw materials in metallurgy, construction, road construction, chemistry, and silicate industries. According to the different crushing principles and different particle size, it is divided into many models. They are widely used in mining, smelting, building materials, highways, railways, waterproof, submarines, and the chemical industries, and many other sectors. The cold crusher has larger crushing ratio, high efficiency, low energy consumption, uniform product size, suitable for medium and fine crushing of various ores and rocks. The features of it include that higher production capacity, better quality. Due to the safety device, the downtime is greatly reduced. The machine body is the cast steel structure with reinforcement ribs set at the heavy duty part. With an adjuster, it can quickly adjust the size of the crushed and discharged material, and provide spring protector device with a complete lubrication system which will shut down when the temperature is too high or the flow rate is too slow. The internal structure has good safety performance, which can effectively protect the equipment from dust and other small particles, and long device life and strong applicability. And next is the impact crusher. The impact crusher is mainly used for metallurgy, chemical industry, built materials, hydraulic and other materials that often require verification operations, especially for mobile store operations such as highways, railways, and hydropower projects. It can be based on the type, scale, and size of the raw materials to be processed. The different requirements of finished materials involve a variety of configuration forms. The features of the impact crusher include: the impact crusher is more effective in processing materials with a larger amount of moisture and effectively prevents materials from clogging. The impact crusher is applicable to a wider range of material handlers. It It is convenient and flexible to adjust the discharging control size, and the adjustment range is wide. The wearing parts are small and local. Metal utilization rate is high. The replacement of spare parts is simple, and the maintenance cost is correspondingly reduced. And the next is the hammer crusher. Hammer crusher is a kind of equipment for crushing materials in the form of impact. It is divided into two types: single rotor and double rotor. It is the non-stager crusher that directly crushes materials with a particle size of. The hammer crusher is suitable for crushing medium and materials such as limestone, slag, coal, and other materials in chemical, electric power, metallurgy, and other industry sectors. The hammer crusher's features include large crushing ratio, high production capacity. The product is uniform and there is little overhaul low energy consumption per unit product, simple structure. And the equipment is light in weight and easy to operate and maintain reliable channel structure, high production efficiency, and good applicability. The last one is roller crusher. The roller crusher uses one pair or two pairs of slightly rotating round rollers to crush materials. The material is forced between the two rollers through the outer feeding box of the equipment, and is brought into the gap between the two rollers by friction and is gradually crushed, and the finished materials mix from the lower part when encountering materials that are too hard to be through. The rollers retract to increase the gap between the roller and the overhung materials fall. When the action of hydraulic cylinders of springs, the rollers return to the original gap, thereby protecting the machine and adjusting the gap between the two rollers. You can control the maximum control size of the product. Our company used roller crushers have the following advantages: simple structure, convenient maintenance, and low manufacturing cost. It is mainly suitable for growth and crushing of the brittle long materials in mining, metallurgy, chemical, coal, and other industries. Its feed size is large and the output size is adjustable, especially in the coal industry. The use of this machine to crush raw coal can be directly crushed as long as it undergoes iron removal and non-gas removal. The crushed materials have a uniform control size and a low excessive crushing rate, which simplifies the coal preparation process and reduces investment and production costs. Today, only some common classifications are introduced. In actual application, there will be more and more detailed classifications such as Compound crusher. According to different purpose, the parameters of the function are slightly different. Some common ones are inlet size, outlet size, output, power, and so on. Price is not the only decisive factor, but to decide the choice according to one's own needs in order to save time and cost. Next, I will invite my colleague Miller to introduce to you.
Hello everyone, this is Biner from EB China, and this is the first time we hold a live show in 2022. We do hope to cooperate with you in 2022. In this part, I will introduce our product, EB metal powders. Okay, let's begin. In this part, we will introduce the EB nickel powder, EB alumina powder, EB cobalt powder, and the EB cobalt powder. You know, EB China specializes in producing and selling all kinds of metal powders. So if you are interested in these metal powders, welcome to send your inquiry to our Alibaba International or email us. We will quote you the best prices. Okay, let's begin. The first part is the nickel powder. On the left side, there is a picture of nickel powder. You can see the color of nickel powder is green. And on the right side, there is a basic information about nickel powder. Metal pigments with a metallic nickel as a main component, including nickel powder and black nickel powder. Nickel powder is distilled and purified. The black nickel powder is made of high nickel powder in the presence of a silver lubricant, and the liquid medium is ground with a steel ball in a ball mill to form a flake of a silver synthase. And next, I will introduce some basic information of nickel powder. The color of nickel powder we just talked about, which is green. And next, I will introduce the shape of nickel powder. Nickel powder is a gray irregular powder, which is easy to oxidize in moist air. And next, I will introduce the uses of nickel powder. Nickel powder can be used to prepare non-ferrous alloys, high-temperature resistant, anti-oxidation materials, magnetic materials, and nickel powder can also be used as a hydrogenation catalyst for chemical reactions. And next, I will introduce the package of us. EB nickel powder will be packed with protective guides, lined plastic bags, cloth bags, and iron drums. As you can see, there are some photos show us the nickel powders picture and the package of EB nickel powders. The upper picture show us the EB nickel powder. As you can see, the color of nickel powder is green, and the lower picture shows us a package of EB nickel powder. The first one is a carton, the second one is bags, the third one is iron drums. there is a test report of nickel powders. You know, EB China will show you a chemical report before the shipment, so you don't have to worry about the quality. As you can see, there is the actual standard of EB nickel powder. The nickel content is more than 99.77%. The cobalt is less than 0.09%. So oxygen is less than 0.17%. The sulfur is less than 0.001%. The cobalt is less than 0.001%. The ferrum content is less than 0.001%. And there are this information about nickel powder. So if you are interested in nickel powder, welcome to email us. And the second part is about the alumina powder. On the right side, there is a picture of alumina powder. As you can see, the color of alumina powder is silver white. And on the right side, there is a basic information of alumina powder. Alumina powder, commonly known as silver powder, that is silver metallic pigment. A small amount of lubricant is added to pure alumina foil, crushed into scaly powder, and then polished. And next, I want to talk about some basic information about alumina powder. Alumina powder is silver white powder. And next, I will introduce the uses of alumina powder. Alumina powder can be used in paints, inks, and fireworks. And the last one is about the package of EB alumina powder. EB alumina powder will be packed with protective glass, lined plastic bags, cloth bags, and iron drums. And there are some photos of the alumina powder. The upper picture shows us the color of alumina powder. As you can see, the color is silver white. And the lower picture shows us the package of EB alumina powder. As you can see, EB alumina powder will be packed with plastic bags, lined plastic bags. And next, there is the test report of alumina powder. We also will show you a test report of the alumina powder if you place an order with us, so you don't have to worry about the quality. As you can see, this report shows us the actual standard of EB alumina powder. The alumina content is more than 99.9%. And the third part is about cobalt powder. According to this chart, you will know cobalt powder is divided into pure cobalt powder and cobalt alloy powder according to its content. As you can see, the cobalt alloy powder contains 40% too. And in this chart, I want to talk about some basic information about the color of cobalt powder and pure cobalt powder and the production process. As you can see, the color of cobalt powder is yellow and the color of pure cobalt powder is red. The next, I will introduce the production process of cobalt powder. The production process of cobalt powder is divided into electrolytic method, atomization method, and reduction method. Now, the most used method is atomization. In this page, I want to introduce the feature of cobalt powder. The color of pure cobalt powder is red, and the color of cobalt alloy powder is yellow. And the cobalt powder is widely used in powder metallurgy, diamond tools, sealing materials, electrical cobalt powder, heating conducting materials, conductive materials, welding materials, super hard materials, friction materials, pharmaceutical and chemical industries. And if cobalt powder will be packed with protective gas, lined plastic bags, clothes bags, and iron drums. And in this page, some pictures are shown. The upper picture shows us the color of pure cobalt powder. As you can see, the color of pure cobalt powder is red, and the lower picture is the cobalt alloy powder. As you can see, the color of cobalt alloy powder is yellow. In this page, two chemical reports are shown. The first one is the test report of pure cobalt powder. As you can see, the analyzer results show us that the cobalt content is 99.9%. The ferrum content is 0.018%. The cobalt is 0.04%. The nickel content is 0.005%. The 7% content is 0.001%. The magnesium content is 0.003%. The cobalt content is 0.002%. The zinc content is 0.001%. The alumina content is 0.004%. The second one is the analyzed result of copper alloy powder. The copper content is 60.02%. The zinc content is 39.83%. The ferrum content is 0.04%. The nickel content is 0.005%. The zinc content is 0.001%. The alumina content is 0.003%. So if you are interested in the EB nickel powder, alumina powder, and copper powder, welcome to email us. We will quote you the best prices. And the last part is about the cobalt powder. On the left side, there is a picture of cobalt powder, and as you can see, the color of cobalt powder is green. And on the right side is the basic information about cobalt powder. The raw materials for the production of cobalt powder is cobalt oxalate. In this page, I want to introduce some features of cobalt powder. The color of pure cobalt powder is green, and cobalt powder can be used as metallurgical products such as cemented carbide, diamond tools, high-temperature alloys, magnetic materials, and chemical products such as rechargeable batteries, industrial blasting agents, rocket fuel, and medicine. The cobalt powder will be packed with iron drums and a plastic box. There are some photos of cobalt powder. So the upper picture shows us the color of cobalt powder. As you can see, the color of cobalt powder is green. And the lower two pictures show us a package of EP cobalt powder. EP cobalt powder will be packed with plastic bags and iron drums. Okay, let's have a review at nickel powder. As a first, we talk about the nickel powder and introduce the color. The nickel powder color is green. As you can see on the left side, there is a picture of nickel powder, and on the right side, there is a basic information about nickel powder. Metal pigments is mainly nickel as a main component, including nickel powder and flat nickel powder. Nickel powder is distilled and purified. The flat nickel powder is made of high nickel powder. It's the presence of a lubricant, of a suitable lubricant and a liquid medium. It's ground with a steel ball in a ball mill to form a flag of silver symbols. And next, we talk about the basic information of nickel powder. The nickel powder is a very regular powder which is easy to oxidize in moist air. And next, I introduced the uses of nickel powder. Nickel powder can be used to prepare non-ferrous alloys, high temperature resistant anti-oxidized materials, magnetic materials, and EB powder can also be used as a hydrogenation catalyst for chemical reactions. And as you know, nickel powder will be packed with protective gas lined plastic bags, cloth bags, and iron drops. And there are some pictures about nickel powder. As you can see, the color of nickel powder is green, and in the lower picture, you can note the package of nickel powder. And next, I introduce the alumina powder. And there is a test report of nickel powder. As you can see, the actual standard of nickel content is more than 99.77%. And part 2, I talk about the alumina powder. As you can see, the color of alumina powder is silver white. And next, I will introduce some basic information about alumina powder. The alumina powder can be used in paints, inks, and fibers. The package of alumina powder is protective bags, lined plastic bags, cloth bags, and iron drops. There are some photos of alumina powder. The lower picture shows us the color of alumina powder, which is silver white. And the lower picture shows us the package of alumina powder. You can see alumina powder will be packed with protective gas lined plastic bags and iron drops. This is the test report of alumina powder. As you can see, the actual standard of alumina content is more than 99.9%. So you don't have to worry about the quality of all metal powders because we will show you a test report before the shipment. In part 3, I talk about the cobalt powder. You know, cobalt powder will be divided into 2 different parts according to its cobalt content. It can be divided into pure cobalt powder and cobalt alloy powder. The difference is that the cobalt alloy powder contains 40% zinc. And as you can see, the color of cobalt powder and pure cobalt powder is different. Cobalt alloy powder is yellow and pure cobalt powder is red. And next, I will introduce the production process of cobalt powder. The production process of cobalt powder is divided into the electrolytic method, aluminization method, and the reduction method. Now, the most used method is aluminization. And next, I want to introduce the uses of cobalt powder. Cobalt powder is widely used in powder metallurgy, diamond tools, ceiling materials, electrical cobalt powder, heating conducting materials, conductive materials, welding materials, super hard materials, and friction materials, pharmaceutical and chemical industries. The EB copper powder will be packed with protective glass, lined plastic bags, clothes bags, and iron drums. And there are the analyzed results of pure copper powder and copper alloy powder. The difference is the copper content. The pure copper powder contains 99.9% copper, and the second one is the copper alloy powder. As you can see, the copper content is 60.02%. And the part 4 is cobalt powder. As you can see, there is a picture of cobalt powder. The color is green, and on the right side is a basic information about cobalt powder. The raw materials for the production of cobalt powder is cobalt oxide. And in this page, I want to talk about the feature of cobalt powder. The cobalt powder can be used as metallurgical products, such as cemented carbide, diamond tools, high temperature alloys, magnetic materials, and chemical products, such as rechargeable batteries, industrial blasting agents, rocket fuel, and medicine. And there is a size comparison table of powder. China specializing producing and selling all kinds of metal powders. So if you are interested in all products, welcome to email us and please send your inquiry to Alibaba International. In China also produce and selling other metal powders. The first one is manganese powder, the second one is titanium powder, the third one is iron powder, the fourth one is germanium powder. The lower first one is magnesium powder, the second one is chrome powder. The last one is zinc powder. So if you are interested in this powder, welcome to email us and follow our live show. We can offer you more information about some metal powders. Okay, thank you for watching, and next welcome my colleague Thomas.
Good afternoon, my dear friend. This is Carmen from EB China. Now I will introduce metal ball. Please wait a minute. Okay, let's see. This is our catalog, and the first part is titanium balls. Diameter is 25 to 120. The material is DR2 and DR5. The second part, I will introduce the standard steel balls. The diameter about this standard steel ball is 0.3 to 50.8. Material, the material of this product is 201, 302, 304, 316L, 420, 440, 440C. The diameter about the task force 12.7, 15, 17, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, and 100, 110, 125, 140, and 150. The material of this platform is DR2, DR10, DR12, DR15, CR17, CR26. And finally, I will introduce the footballs. The diameter about this footballs 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Introduction of titanium. Titanium and its alloys are characterized by lightweight, high strength, strong heat resistance, and corrosion resistance. It's known as the material of the future. It is a new structural material with a promising future. Titanium is widely used in aerospace, chemical, medical, metallurgy, construction, and automobile industries because of its good corrosion resistance and heat resistance. High specific strength, small elastic modulus, and low density. The applications of titanium in the aerospace field is mainly used in aircraft.
那个对小吴的那期朋友在你要不要看一下？
Many parts, aircraft structural parts of each part.
那他写的吧？
The mechanical industry is mainly used for
他写我让他看。
reactor heat exchanger, reactor concentrator, and various anti-corrosion chemical associations, strapping, strapped flag, and some parts. In the metallurgical industry, is mainly used in corrosion resistance, various pumps and valves, plumbing, blade coupling, fittings in the medical field. It is mainly used for surgical implants and other medical materials. It can also be used for carpets, medical beams, and building roofs, and erosions.
那你明天过来吧，我要回来。现在几点？我们还在工作呢。你睡到。
Here are some photos about our products. You can see the surface is very light, right? Yes. Introduction of titanium balls. Titanium balls can be used for different purposes according to other materials and specifications. They can be used for jewelry and human puncture. The range of these titanium balls is about 10 to 10. They can also be used in the medical industry. And the material is TC4ELI. It also can be called CR23. Sharp divers in Asta and Oakley environments, titanium alloy balls are used as sealing balls. At present, the industrial method of production is grow-mount method. The product is sponge titanium. The traditional process of making titanium material is to melt titanium sponge into ingot and then process it into titanium material. The next steps from milling to making titanium material are as follows. You can see. There are magic handle titanium material. The process from milling to making titanium in the above steps. If the brutal is optioned from the milling, the concentration is not required and the production of full TiCi4 can be made directly by production. In addition, the casting operation should be a metallurgical process. But sometimes it is also classified as a processing craft. And here are some photos of making titanium balls. You can see different kinds of titanium balls. And this picture shows us the testing and packing ways. Processing technology. That's processing into a round black ball, and then grinding out a certain degree of roundness. After manipulation, polishing, the surface will achieve the mirror effect. Here is our quality certification. You can see the contact number, commodity, designation, and specification. And the most important thing is chemical composition. We hereby certify that the material described above has been tested and complies with the terms of the content confirmation, inspection, and dimensional control without confidence. And here is our other chemical composition. You can see the contract number, quantity, designation, condition, and specification on this list. Here is our another function certification. Here is a price list of titanium balls. We have different values about this kind of balls. Next, I will introduce the stainless steel balls. Stainless steel is not rustless. That's not easy to rust. The critical of which is chromium element to add in the steel surface to form the layer of design with this chemical chromic oxide layer can effectively block steel in contact with air, make the oxygen in the air cannot intersect the steel, and the effect of steel to prevent rust. Classification. China national standards. Japanese national standards. (440) or 440 C stainless steel balls. Performance hardness up to 56 to 58 degrees. Magnetic wood corrosion resistance, wear resistance, and toughness. Applications mainly used in bearing, stamping, hydraulic parts, value steel, refrigeration equipment, aerospace, high precision machinery parts, craft toys. Application. For stainless steel ball is usually used in industries requiring high precision and rust resistance. Aviation, aerospace, bearing, motors, high precision instrument values, petroleum, chemical resistance. The metal structure belongs to latent steel. The production process requirements are higher. The domestic production of stainless steel 440 interfaces and relatively few, so that the production of 440 material interfaces are often labeled with the reputation of special stainless steel. The heat treatment process is more complex, easy to track, and the precision requirements are higher. In the hardness steel ball of the stainless steel ball, HRC 58, hardness is close to the bearing steel ball, but has stronger at rust at corrosion process than the former. Compared with 440 stainless steel ball, it has strong at rust at corrosion performance, hardness enhanced. Wear resistance also has been improved. For 2-0 stainless steel balls, properties had up to 51 to 52 degrees, magnetic corrosion resistance, and toughness. Application suitable for all kinds of precision machinery, firing electric equipment, means of transportation, household applications, and so on. It is mainly used for parts and components resistance to the atmospheric steam, water, and applying explosion. For 2-0 stainless steel balls are usually used in industries with high requirements on precision and rust resistance. Motor parts, toys, stainless steel bearings, plastic barriers, crafts, values, petroleum, character resistance, artistic steel, commonly known as stainless iron, magnetic rust resistance, high hardness HRC 50251. Properties hardness less than or equal to 28 degrees. Non-magnetic after expressing strong rust resistance, salt water and emission. For a long time it's not easy to rust. Application mainly used in medical devices, liquids, bottles, values, electronic components. 304 stainless steel ball is the most widely used SDSO ball on the market. Can be used in medical equipment, chemical industry, aerospace, plastic hardware. Characteristic technical resource responsive authentic steel, generally non-magnetic, but magnetic after passing through the photons can be magnetized. HRC26 has good anti-rust and anti-corrosion properties. 304 is HC stainless steel ball is softer than 306 stainless steel ball, easier to process, and 304L stainless steel ball can both of the above has stronger anti-rust and anti-corrosion performance, easy to weld, excellent coating, more suitable for the surface requirements for higher industries. Properties. Okay, thank you for your watching.